Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Q&A office hour. I am going to be going live now in our Facebook group. Here we go. For those of you joining me on LinkedIn and YouTube, thank you for your patience. While we connect everyone, we have to do Facebook separately. All right, it looks like we're live. For those of you who are joining me in the private Facebook group, I have my phone here. So feel free to ask questions, participate. The more you participate, the more you're going to get out of this session. All right. We're good. I think we're live. Excellent. So we have a few team members who are joining us today. They're going to support me by dropping links. Molly, I think you're here with us today. So if you just want to wave your hand, and Hillary, I think, is joining us today. Amy, thank you for joining the call. All right, let's get going. I am Jeannie Petrucci. I am a registered dietitian nutritionist. I own Living Plate RX. I'm the founder of Living Plate RX. And we do these Q&A sessions every other week. So twice per month, usually you will, unless it's a launch month, you can log into YouTube, LinkedIn, or our private Facebook group, which is preferable because I can see your comments and answer your questions a little bit easier there. And we focus on particular topics that are of interest to our members. So we serve thousands of nutrition professionals with all of the white labeled content and resources that they need to grow their practices. And this community lets us know what they want to learn about. And so today we're going to be focusing on defining your unique value proposition. So that is UVP. So in the title, I think that I defined that for you, but we'll be referring to it today throughout our session as your UVP. I'm really excited to support you with creating and communicating this secret sauce for your practice because it really helps you attract your dream clients. If you've ever wondered how you can stand out in this crowded nutrition market, communicate your strengths really effectively, and make your marketing efforts feel really effortless, you are in the right place. So we surveyed our group and we came up with the top 4 questions really surrounding UVPs or unique value propositions. We're going to answer all of these questions today. So typically how we format these sessions, the Q&A sessions, is we will survey our group and find out what their questions are around a particular topic, and then we pick the top 4. So I will address the questions, give you really solid answers, but most importantly, I'm going to be giving you actions that you can take to really bring the strategy to life in your own practice. Oh, Hillary, great. Thank you. Erica, welcome. So here are the 4 questions that we got most frequently. What is a UVP and why is it crucial for growing your practice? How do you define a UVP that showcases your unique strengths? We're all in the nutrition business, our food is medicine business in some way. So whether you're a corporation, employee wellness company, or a private practitioner, we all have like a nutrition pillar to our business, and we bring something really unique to that. And that's what the UVP helps you communicate to your ideal customer. We're also going to cover, number 3, is practical tips for communicating the UVP to your audience. So crafting a UVP, it's not necessarily difficult if you follow the framework that we're going to cover today, but then how do you use it? Like, where do you put it and how do you communicate it to your audience? That's really important. And then number 4, how do you ensure that it's resonating with your ideal clients and really touching on the emotions of your ideal clients? We are going to cover those 4 things. If you have any other questions about UVPs, unique value propositions, or really anything else related to using content to help you grow your practice, you are free to drop it in the Facebook group because I can see comments here. Marielle and Karen, thank you for joining us today. And thank you so much for joining us today. I know how crazy this time of year is for everybody, and I really value your time here today. So I'm going to be very targeted in what we're presenting today and give you some really hard, quick takeaways that you can implement within the next 3 days. Okay, and if you're feeling stuck, if you're frustrated, with growing your private practice and you're looking for more personal guidance, I want you to stick around until the end of this session because I'm going to give you some more information on how you can work with me and my team a little bit deeper, right? So that we can support you. All right, question number one, what is a UVP and why is it important? A UVP is a unique value proposition, and it is a 1-sentence statement that clearly communicates 3 things primarily: who you help. So who is your target audience? If you did not watch the last Q&A session 2 weeks ago on how do you identify your niche, go back and do that. Even if you have identified your niche, I strongly encourage you to go back and listen to that session, because we help you really hone in on your niche and being super, super specific on who you serve. So that number one, you need to be able to communicate that, who you are helping. Number two, you need to be able to communicate what problem you solve for them. Typically, your UVP is going to be their number one problem. The people that I serve now, so I'm business to business, right? I serve nutrition professionals and healthcare companies. They have several problems, right? But time seems to be coming up over and over and over again, especially this time of year. So in some of the examples I'm going to provide you with today, we'll talk about time, like shortage of time. That is a problem. I don't have enough time to do everything that I need to grow my practice, or I don't have enough time to prepare healthy meals for my family so that I can meet my health goals and alleviate the guilt with feeding my family takeout, right? So again, you're going to hone in on one key problem, but know that there's probably several problems that you as a practitioner are going to solve. And then number three, you need to be able to communicate the results that they're going to get from working with you. Karen, wonderful. Karen is saying, I need to connect with you to start my business in January. Yes, Karen, welcome. Absolutely. Cindy is saying that the video ended. Cindy, I would say refresh your screen because it looks like it didn't end for me. Are we okay, Hillary? Refresh your screen, Cindy. Yeah, sometimes it's a browser thing. All right, so we're going to cover those three things. Your UVP is going to set you apart from your competitors. So really interesting, after today's session, go ahead and poke around on competitors' websites and see if you can identify what their UVP is. A strong UVP is going to support you from not getting lost in the crowd, really going to make you stand out. To create that strong UVP, and I mentioned this once already, probably going to mention it a few other times, you need to first identify your niche really, really specifically. So visit that previous Q&A about identifying your niche. So the first action I'm going to ask all of you to take, and for those of you joining me on the call right now, I want you to drop it in. I want you to write down one problem, just one problem that you solve for your clients, and one result. So share with me a problem. So everybody who's on with me now, Noreen, Karen, Cindy, Monica, Marielle, I've got a bunch of people on. I want you to share with me what's one problem that you solve and one result that your clients want to achieve, right? So if a problem that you solve is time, like people being time poor, like just not having enough time, and then the result that they want is to have more energy or control their hormones or reduce their cancer risk, right? There's a lot of different niches that solve a variety of problems. So drop that for me now here. And let me know. Jody, welcome. Barbara, welcome. Let me know, what is the one problem that you solve for your clients? Because this is going to be your starting point for your unique value propositions. We're actually going to build your UVP today together. So please drop your problem here and so that we can all see it. Drop it in comments. All right. Question number two. So question number one, we've already answered. What is a UVP and why it's important? You need to be able to stand out from the crowd, be competitive, and your UVP includes those three things: who you help, what problem you solve, and the results or the transformation that you're providing. Karen is saying that the problem she solves is menopause. So get more specific for me, Karen. If you serve women who are perimenopausal or going through menopause, what is their main problem or one of their problems with menopause, right? Is it sleeplessness? Is it symptoms like night sweats? Is it fatigue? Is it low energy? There's like a whole list. Like, I know this very, very well. So Karen with an E, let me know, what is the problem? Karen is working on hers now. Nikki's the problem is anxiety, right? So wow, that's a big one, right? So people who are trying to manage anxiety. And Nikki, you could even get more specific with that, because anxiety causes a lot of secondary problems, as we all know, right? Is there anxiety causing sleeplessness, or is the anxiety impacting their relationships with their family and their children? So you could even get more specific there. Cindy is saying that she helps people cook for multiple food sensitivities. So, okay, great, Cindy. This is all so good. Yes, Karen is saying so many symptoms associated with menopause. She thinks that the primary might be weight gain and potentially brain fog. Perfect, Karen. So pick the pain point. Now that you have two, weight gain and brain fog, I want you to pick one, Karen, that you can solve the best. When I say the best, like what can you support your clients with getting the biggest win from or the quickest win from? Potentially it is weight gain. So great job, guys. Great job. Okay. So question number 2 is, how do you define your unique value proposition? So the UVP is about showcasing the unique value that you offer to your clients, right? So you're solving a problem, but you also have to infuse a lot of yourself and your expertise into it. It answers a key question. Why should someone choose to work with you versus somebody else, right? Another company, another practitioner. Why should they choose to work with you? So it has to be that powerful. Defining your UVP is going to start about having clarity around your audience. Also, how your strengths align with the transformation that you're promising them. So let's break that down. We'll start with kind of number 1, know your audience. Visit the Q&A that we did 2 weeks ago. Already mentioned that. You need to identify your ideal client. Their demographics, their challenges, their goals, really important. We have a lot of materials inside of Living Plate RX library to support you with this. A lot of business tools around, niching down and how do you identify your niche and really explore that. An example might be women in their 40s struggling with low energy and hormonal imbalances. I could get even more specific there. So perimenopausal women in their 40s struggling with low energy and hormonal imbalances. That's a good example of somebody really identifying your audience. Number 2, you have to highlight your strengths. Like, what is going to make you unique? There's probably dozens of people, within 50 miles of you that address that audience, right? Women, perimenopausal women in their 40s struggling with low energy. But what do you bring? What is your secret sauce? So maybe it's that you have a particular focus or training. Maybe you are certified in functional nutrition. So something like that would sound like, I help women recovering from breast cancer treatment using a functional nutrition approach to reclaim their health back. So that's a longer sentence. It takes a while to craft the longer ones like that, but you can absolutely do this by focusing on kind of the key ingredients we're sharing with you. So you really have to infuse, excuse me, what makes your approach, your background, your philosophy, your practice philosophy different. And you usually infuse it when you start talking about how you're going to be solving their problem and getting them their transformation. So first, identify who you're serving. I help women recovering from breast cancer treatment using a functional nutrition approach, and the result is to reclaim their health back. I could even get more specific there to, support them with rebuilding their gut, because women who have completed breast cancer treatment often have residual gut issues, right? So, or brain fog, or there's a lot of different symptoms as a result of that. So you can get even more specific there. Number 3, focus on results. So emphasize the transformation that your clients are going to experience, not just the services you provide. So here's a good example. I help busy professionals. I could even say I help busy, women professionals or C-suite women professionals regain energy and confidence about their food choices so they can achieve their health goals without stress. Again, a little bit of a longer UVP, but I'm focusing on the results here, right? They're going to have confidence about their food choices so typically the result is going to be followed by to reclaim your health so that you can, right? And typically you want to put some emotion into that too. So the stress is what we're focusing on here. Mary, welcome. So Karen has dropped a comment here. Let's see what work we can do, Karen. Karen helps men and women over 50 expand their health expand their lifespan through food as medicine plans, not pills. Oh, wonderful. Karen, you're onto something. So using lifestyle as well. Yes. So that's, Karen, this is really wonderful. I encourage all of you to just get your ideas on paper. Don't try and craft your UVP right from the get-go. Just start putting your ideas down, focus on who you're serving, highlight kind of what you bring. So Karen, if you have training in yoga and that you're going to be bringing that into the practice, you need to highlight that in your UVP. And then identify what the problems you're going to help them overcome, leveraging your unique strengths, and focus on results. Okay. And then lastly here, which will help guide you to developing your UVP, is using emotions that resonate. This is really important for marketing specifically too. So you want to use emotional words like that address the problem, right? Are they frustrated? Are they stressed? Do they have guilt? Do they have overwhelm? Do they feel stuck? Are they exhausted? These are all emotionally, charged words that you can build into your UVP. So I'll give you an example here of that. I help busy moms reduce stress and guilt, two emotions, around mealtime. For those of you who are busy moms, there's a lot of stress and a lot of guilt around feeding your family around mealtime, so that they can feed their families meals that they love while still meeting their health goals. That UVP covers a lot of ground, right? It addresses the emotions that that busy moms might feel because they're so busy. Potentially they're serving, pizza and takeout more than they want to, but yet they're stressed because they're not comfortable in the kitchen. And you are going to be their answer, right? You are going to be their guiding light here. And you're going to help them feed their families meals that they love, right? While still being able to meet their personal health goals. So that was a really packed UVP example. Oh, Shen, welcome. Corey, Mary, welcome. Good to see you all here today. All right. Now, I want you all to stick around. For those of you just joining me, I'm Jeannie Petrucci, registered dietitian, nutritionist, founder of Living Plate RX. So we support you with all of the expert evidence-based content and resources that you need to grow your practice kind of without the stress of having to create that content from scratch. But you should not be creating one piece of content until you are super clear on who you're serving, your niche. That was 2 weeks ago. And how you're going to be showing up for them. And that's what today is about, really crafting this unique value proposition. Like, how are you going to support these people and getting it into one sentence, right? So you should not be creating any content until you're super, super clear on this. All right, question number 3 now. So if you're just joining us, you can watch the recording for the answers to question 1 and 2. Where and how should I be using my UVP? Everywhere is the answer to the question. You should use it at cocktail parties. You should use it at conferences. You really need to memorize it and be able to deliver it so that it doesn't sound so scripted. I've already delivered my UVP 4 times at least, and because I say it so much, and it always comes out a little bit differently. I don't sound so scripted, but I'm very clear on what my UVP is, like who I serve, how I'm serving them, and how I help them get a transformation, which is growing their practices, right? So you want to get it in your head. You also want to get it on paper. You want to get it on your website, really everywhere. So your UVP is your marketing compass, and it should be integrated across all platforms and touch points for your ideal customer avatar. So I'm just going to give you some examples here. These are like your target zones. Your website. So place your UVP prominently on your homepage. Now, if on my website, Living Plate RX, we actually just added a tab for digital health companies. That's a bit of a different target market for me, right? It's not the private practice practitioner. It's a digital health company. So I had to come up with another UVP for that tab. It should be at the top before people start scrolling. It has to be above the fold. That's typically what they say, right? So it has to be above, has to be in the top part of your website so that when people start scrolling, like that's the first thing they see and then they can scroll by, but should be very prominently placed at the top of your homepage. It should be on your about page as well, and also on your services page. So here's an example of a website UVP that could be good. I help busy moms get a lot of mom things here. I'm a mom of 4 and a grandmother to 4. And so I get the busy mom thing. So maybe that's why I used it so much. I help busy moms regain energy and feel like themselves again through sustainable nutrition strategies. So general enough that it covers a variety of problems, but still targeted, right? Busy moms who, they want to feel like themselves again, which implies that they're not feeling so great, and help them regain their energy. So on your website, everywhere. Social media, use it in your profile bio. So if you scroll some kind of key social media pages, you'll see that, I help, or I serve, or we serve. You'll see a lot of that. Now, if you serve multiple kinds of companies, that might be a little bit more difficult, multiple niches. So that's why it's important to kind of niche down. Just speak to one person. You're going to attract a variety of people through social media potentially, but just hone in on one, right? So use it in your profile bio. It's the foundation for all of your content on social media. So again, it is kind of your marketing compass for all of that. It really, everything needs to reflect the transformation that you're promising, because that's what people are looking for. Number 3, networking. Make your UVP part of your elevator pitch everywhere. So put it on your business cards, whenever you're at a networking event or in chat rooms, make sure that you've committed it to memory. Number 4, in your marketing materials. So align your UVP with your email campaigns, your flyers, your presentations, just to make sure that you are very consistent. And then other areas in your practice, like discovery calls. So client touch points, we call these. So discovery calls are a really great place. If it's somebody who's new to you, you ask them permission, can I share with you, how I can help you? Of course, after you have a 15-minute conversation, you're going to kind of not modify. You're going to be true to your UVP, but you're going to make it reflect what they just shared with you. If in fact you are a good match, if you're a good match to help that person, then you say, yes, I can help you because I've helped, hundreds of busy moms, really reduce their stress around mealtime with their families. So you heard how that just came out, right? So non-scripted, but really consistent with what your UVP is. Oh, hi, Kate. So Kate, Corey, Eugenia, Shen, Mary, good to see you. I'd love for all of you who are joining us right now in the comments to drop what is the primary problem that you solve for your ideal customer avatar. What is your primary problem? You could also just drop in who is your ideal, who do you serve? Like, who do you help? Because that would be really helpful here. All right. So drop in what is the problem that you're solving for them? And in fact, who are you helping to? So you can do either one, because you're going to need to use both of those to craft your UVP. So the pro tip here in answering question number 2, like where do you use this, is just to be consistent wherever you're using it. It should be visible and integrated really into everything you do. So website conversations, emails, you just want to make sure that the messaging is clear. All right. So an action step here for question number 3 that we're answering, which is, where do I use it, is to do an audit of your online and kind of your offline presence as well. And see if it's clear, like who you're serving. Is your website, are there several different messages on there? Is it too broad? It needs to be super clear. So is it the first thing that people see when they come to your website? Answer question number 1. If it isn't, you need to craft a UVP and make sure that it's at the top of your website, above the fold, above the scroll. Does your social media bio clearly communicate who you help? So take a look at that. Do my marketing materials and introductions consistently reflect my UVP? So revisit those 3 areas and just kind of do a quick audit. If the answer is no to any of them, that's great. Like, there's room for improvement, right? You're here to learn how to craft a UVP. Let's go ahead and do that together. And we're getting to that. Like at the end, I'm going to walk you through several, I'm going to give you the formula, and then we're going to walk you through several examples of good UVPs and some not so much. All right. MJ, she's identifying and bridging nutrition gaps for busy women with families feeling overwhelmed around meal planning. Oh, MJ, we've dropped that UVP here so many different times. That's amazing. Very specific. So let's see here. Busy women with families who are feeling overwhelmed, which is a great emotion, around meal planning. And then MJ, what you're going to start thinking about next is, what is a transformation you're promising them? Mary, I help men and women overcome overeating so that they can lose weight, improve cholesterol, increase energy, etc. That's okay. You can, it can be kind of like a PES statement. You can include a variety of, specific ways that you're going to help them. So if their primary concern is losing weight or, improving cholesterol, increase energy, you can do, you can pick that one, or if it's across the board, just kind of overall, they want to address all of those things. And those I think are general enough: energy, cholesterol, and losing weight for people who are trying to overcome overeating. I think that's a pretty good assumption for your audience. So you can go ahead and include all of those. Amy is saying, can this message be proactive? Like, I help people with healthy aging and prevent cognitive decline, or should it be a problem that they have? So you need to address a problem. So my question to you, Amy, would be, what are the problems that people are experiencing who are concerned about aging and cognitive decline? Right. So you're saying that they don't have any problems. So Amy, having a problem creates urgency. If people are just concerned about aging or preventing cognitive decline, that's not enough urgency. But if a family member, or if they have a history of cognitive decline in their family, right? Or I think that's probably a good place to start. You can help them identify that, maybe through genetic testing. So again, I'm getting a little bit more specific here, but I think you need to be a little bit more specific, Amy. So it can be proactive, but it's not going to be as effective as identifying a problem that they have. So I'd say fear is probably in there, but like, why would they be fearful of cognitive decline? There has to be a reason there, Amy. I hope that was helpful, Amy. Jeffrey, can the core of the message remain? Let's see here. All right, I'm just reading, so excuse my eyes being diverted here. Can the core of the message remain, but be adapted according to the channel used, since not everybody uses the same channel? Old, young, male, female. Well, those are many different niche combinations there. So I would say, Jeffrey, pick one niche. So if it is older males, that's, I would not pick a variety of different channels. You're not going to be able to craft a UVP that addresses old, young males and females. That's not targeted enough. So you need to pick one. Now, can you create several UVPs? You can, if you serve those different populations, but then you start becoming a little bit more of a generalist, and it becomes a little bit more difficult to grow. So go visit, if you haven't listened to the Q&A from last week or 2 weeks ago, go ahead and visit that, Jeffrey. I would say that your core message does need to be pretty specific. So I hope that was helpful. Okay. All right, Rachel, Amy, great. Okay, perfect. All right, question number 4 was, how can I ensure that my unique value proposition resonates with my ideal client? So it has to deeply connect with your ideal clients, which, Jeffrey, is why, like, if you are talking to young men and I'm an older woman, your messaging is not going to resonate with me. That's why I'm saying you need to pick one for a UVP. So start with one where start with a UVP and a niche where you think that you can have the greatest impact. So if a lot of your practice history surrounds supporting older men, then start there. It doesn't mean that you can't serve younger women or younger men, but just start with what your experience and your expertise can inform best. Because you are going to need to have a UVP that reflects their struggles, their desires, and you have to use their language too. So another reason why you need to have very specific UVP. All right, so how can you ensure that your UVP resonates with your ideal clients? Number 1, speak your client's language. So avoid technical jargon. You want to use simple, relatable terms. You want to avoid like industry specific language. So here's an example of industry specific language. I optimize metabolic function, ... That is industry specific language. Instead of saying optimize metabolic function, you can say, I help boost your energy, or I support older men or older women boost their energy and manage their weight with sustainable nutrition strategies. So boost your energy and manage weight instead of optimize metabolic function, because that's not, again, that's too jargony to land well for most people. And also in their language. So this is still number 1, you want to mirror their words. So pay attention to how your clients describe their struggles and goals in consultations and testimonials. on social media, and you want to include those exact phrases in your UVP. So if you are hearing from clients, like in the counseling session, like when you're doing your motivational interviewing, I'm so frustrated, I'm so tired, I just don't have enough time, boom, 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 right? There you go. They've helped you craft your UVP. So a good example is if your audience frequently says, I'm tired all the time. You want to use that in your messaging. So an example for my audience, for the people that I serve, the nutrition professionals that I serve, the things that I hear all the time, I am frustrated and I'm overwhelmed. And also I feel guilty for spending money on business coaches and still I'm not making progress because I have to create all the content that my business coach told me that I needed to create, right? So that's an example of my audience. I hear that all the time. Frustration, overwhelmed, they feel guilty for having spent money and not getting results, and also time. I don't have all the time to do everything that I need. So you use your audience's own words in your UVP. So an action that you can take here is to reflect primarily on conversations that you've had with clients. If you do client surveys, that's great. Onboarding, typically you're going to ask somebody, what are you coming to me for? Right? They're going to tell you what their problem is. So you want to use that in your UVP. Testimonials are great as well. And you can use bits of your UVP in testimonials, to help craft testimonials, right? So you can ask current clients, like, explain to me how you felt when you came to me, right? So they were probably frustrated, tired, they're out of time. How did I help you overcome that, right? So you're kind of reverse engineering the UVP to gather really good testimonials. You can also use social media comments. So, and they don't have to be social media comments from your social media. Go to a competitor's social media feed, right? And kind of see what what comments they're getting or what their audience is asking about. And that can give you a really good idea for your UVP too. All right, number 2, you want to focus on benefits, not features. So your UVP has to emphasize the results and the transformation that your clients can expect, not just the services that you're going to provide. So, I provide meal planning and handouts and ebooks and courses, like that's all great, but they're more interested in why it matters, right? Okay, that's great, but why is it important? So an example of this would be like, I provide meal plans and coaching. Great, nothing wrong with that, but it's a feature, it's not a benefit. Instead of, here we go with the moms again, I help busy moms simplify meal prep so that they can have more time and energy for their families. You want to be able to paint a picture of this desired outcome. So help them envision what life is going to be like after they work with you. So for men, for example, for men over 50, I help men over 50 regain their energy and confidence so that they can keep working out, building muscle, and doing the activities that they love. Right? You want to pick things that men over 50 are really concerned about and kind of tag that on to the end. So the action here that you can do is list outcomes that your clients are looking to achieve when they're working with you. So Jeffrey, if you're going to focus in on, older gentlemen, what are they looking to achieve after they work with you? And you can start there. You also want to be really clear and concise. So keep your UVP short. 1 sentence is ideal, but you can go to 2 if you wanted to. 1 sentence that kind of packs it all in might look like, I help women with PCOS balance their hormones and manage their weight without restrictive eating, right? Or you could even make that richer. And I think I can get this in 1 sentence. So let me try. I help women with PCOS use intuitive eating practices to balance their hormones and have peace with food without restrictive dieting, something like that, right? So you wouldn't want to use intuitive eating and weight loss in the same UVP, so be aware of that. But there's a lot of ways that you could craft that into 1 sentence. But if you find that you need the 2 sentences to really encapsulate it, that's totally fine. And just keep it concise. You don't want to keep loading more and more information. All right, so now we're at the point in the Q&A where we're going to start getting busy with using a formula to craft your UVP. I'm really excited for everybody here today. So Tiana is saying that she helps perimenopausal women concerned about increasing weight and declining energy by balancing blood sugar and metabolism with meats and plants versus meds and pills so that they can feel better in their body and enjoy their activities. It's long and complicated. You're correct, Tiana. So Tiana said that too. It's long and complicated. But Tiana, it's a start. And it's great because you're very clear on who you're serving, your perimenopausal women. The problem that you're solving is it could be the weight and the blood sugar, but it's also sounds like the fear, right? They're fearful about the increasing weight. And so I was feeling a little bit of that emotion in there too. And also you're tapping into the emotion of really not, they don't want to use pills, right? They want to use a more integrative approach first. So I love that. It's a great start, Tiana. Really, really great. All right, now that we've answered the questions, if you are just joining us, I'm Jeannie Petrucci. I'm a registered dietitian and founder of Living Plate RX. And you can go back and replay this recording so that you can get the top 4 questions that our community has asked us around UVPs, get those answered for yourself and actions that you can take so that you can build a really effective UVP that'll help grow your practice. Now we are going to take our biggest action, which is to apply a formula to craft your UVP. It's a very simple formula. For those of you who are Living Plate RX members, inside of your library, we have a brand workbook, a brand identity workbook. It's a whole ebook. In there is an entire section on UVP that takes you through this formula. So it's a fillable PDF. So make sure that you visit your library for that. All right, a simple formula for crafting your UVP. I help, this is in quotes, right? So it's Mad Lib style. I help blank. So who is your niche? Specific audience, right? So let's do Tiana's. How about that? I help perimenopausal women. And what is the problem that you're going to solve for them, right? It could be 1 or 2, but let's just pick the kind of the fear around the increasing weight during menopause. So I help perimenopausal women with weight control so that they can blank, right? So that they can continue to, wear the same wardrobe that they've worn in their 40s or something like that. Well, again, whatever is specific to you. Like we have a member in our audience who is also she applies fashion principles to kind of her care. Like her audience is really concerned about being able to continue wearing the wardrobe that they have built over the course of their lives. And during menopause, the weight gain is causing them a lot of stress. So that is kind of her secret sauce that she brings to her UVP. So she does bring fashion into it. So let's review got on a tangent here, but just thinking about my friend Quintana. All right. So your UVP formula, I help blank, specific audience. You're going, what is their problem? I help them what? Clear up brain fog or get more energy, create sustained energy. What is their biggest problem? Or, maintaining weight or losing weight or making peace with food. What is their biggest problem? So that they can, what is their transformation? So that they can have energy to play with their grandchildren, so that they can be more productive at work, so that they can, enjoy shopping for clothes, or that they can walk down the beach feeling confident in their bathing suit, like whatever that is, whatever the ultimate transformation is for your client. Hillary is saying the brand identity workbook can be found in the resource section of your library in business tools. Thank you for that. All right. So now that you have the formula, right? I help blank. What is the problem? Solve the problem so that they can. What is the transformation? What I want you to do is, as you write that down, or as you write down several examples for yourself so that you can kind of hone in on one, I want you to validate it by pushing it through the so what test, right? Like, so what? After you write your UVP, you're going to ask yourself, so what? And if the answer isn't really clear, then you need to refine your UVP. Great example. I offer nutrition counseling. So what? Like, what does that mean to me, or what does that mean to your ICA, right? The answer isn't immediately clear. Like, I offer nutrition counseling. So what? you can get more specific there. I help people regain energy through simple, sustainable nutrition strategies. I would even say that you need to get way more specific there, not I help people. So who do you help, right? Regain their energy. So the so what test. So let's go through, I think I have 4 or 5 examples here for UVPs, and we'll put them through the so what test. So here is an initial UVP. And I honestly, I see this one all the time. I provide personalized meal plans for, we're going to use busy moms again, right? So I provide personalized meal plans for busy moms. So what? Like I'm your ideal customer avatar. All right. So what's in it for me? Right. And so that doesn't pass the test. So let's recraft that because it doesn't really, it's not specific enough. So a refined UVP for that might be, I help busy working moms reduce stress and guilt around mealtime so that they can feed their families meals that they love while still meeting their health goals. Boom. There's a lot inside of that UVP. Example number 2, we'll do the so what test. I offer nutrition counseling for women with hormone imbalances. So what? What's in it for me? What's that going to do for me? You need to be more specific. I help women in their 30s and 40s balance hormones so they can lose weight, boost their energy, and feel in control of their health. Tiana's coming back. Is this a refined one, Tiana? Let's see. I help perimenopause. So now I'm just going to read an example that was dropped in our comments. So Tiana's saying, I help perimenopausal women who are fearful about weight gain, balance their metabolism so that they can continue to wear their favorite clothes and have energy for fun activities. Getting really good here now. So getting more specific. If that is something that you think is important to your ideal customer avatar, and again, there's no judgment here in the UVP, like pick who you are serving and speak specifically to them. So I think this is a great start, Tiana. Really, really great. Even more specific. Example number 3, initial UVP is, I help athletes optimize their nutrition for performance. Doesn't totally pass the so what test because it doesn't support like my secret sauce. Like, how do I help athletes optimize their nutrition performance with my expertise, right? So let's see if we can refine that a little bit. I help endurance athletes overcome digestive issues with a functional nutrition approach so that they can perform at their peak without discomfort. I love that one. I did good. I love that one. That's a really, really good one, right? So let's review that one again. I help athletes optimize their nutrition performance. Doesn't totally pass the so what test. Remember to always try and infuse, and Tiana, I want to encourage you too, in your UVP, you want to infuse what is your expertise that you're bringing to perimenopausal women. So what expertise here would I be bringing to athletes? So even getting more specific, I help endurance athletes overcome digestive issues using a functional nutrition approach so that they can perform at their peak without discomfort. Super specific. All right, number 4, this is going to be our last one that we're going to put through the so what test. I support clients in building healthy eating habits. Well, of course you do. You're a nutrition professional. So what? Right? That doesn't really mean much of anything. Is it valuable? Is it showing like an ultimate outcome? No, it's not. So it needs to be reworked. So let's refine it a little bit here. I made some notes. I support clients. Not good enough, right? I help busy C-suite women develop healthy eating habits so that they can sustain their energy and be more productive throughout their workday. So productivity is really important to a C-suite executive, women or male, right? So productivity would be good. Mental acuity would also be good. Keep, maintaining energy. All of those things are important to that ideal customer avatar. Hi, Julie, welcome. MJ is saying that I'm going to look at my screen here for a second so I can share this comment with you. MJ is saying the UVP workbook was amazing. All caps, exclamation. Perfect. I'm so glad, MJ. Jeannie breaks everything down so well that I never once felt overwhelmed. This is great. And she is saying that the Scaling Nutrition Facebook group is a fantastic addition as a place where she can answer questions around the workbook. Great. So MJ, if you have any other questions that might have come up for you during this UVP workshop. It's really turned out to be a workshop, right? Instead of a Q&A session. Trying to keep it simple here, but I also really want to support you with taking action. Like I can share with you all kinds of ideas and theories about what needs to happen. But at the end of the day, I need to support you with actually making it happen. And a lot of times that means breaking it down into a framework, because remember, my ideal customer avatar, you don't have time. You tend to be overwhelmed because you're trying to do so many things in your practice. So my responsibility and my commitment to you is to, as much as possible, provide you with a framework to take action, because it's just like a goal, but I forget what they say about goals. If you don't take action on them, but they're just like dreams, right? So if you have a goal to grow your practice, you actually have to start taking action. And really what we did 2 weeks ago and today is foundational to practice growth. Foundational. So identifying your niche and making sure that you can communicate your value to them through all the materials that Living Plate RX gives to you, right? Gives you access to. So everybody, thank you so much for all of your participation. This is awesome. Does anybody have any other questions? All right. So let's, I want you to, I'm just going to review now. You can watch the recording. I'm just going to review the actions that I encourage you to take today. So the first action that we talked about was to write down a problem that you solve. Tends to be one problem, but if there's like somebody was talking about, cholesterol and weight and energy, which was kind of like collective symptoms or concerns of a particular ICA, that's okay too. But try and get it down to one if you can. And then one result, like what is a transformation that your clients are looking to achieve? And you want to use this really as your starting point for crafting your UVP. So I'm going to give you an example for my target audience. The problem that I solve and the result that my clients are looking to achieve. So my clients, my ideal customer avatar, my niche, they struggle with growing their practices because there is simply not enough time to create all the resources that they need while they're also seeing clients, right? So you're serving your clients, you're counseling, and then you still have to create the meal plans, the ebooks, the recipes, the courses. It's like, it's impossible. It can't be done. I've tried it. And I will tell you that this problem that I'm solving and the problem that you are solving for your ideal customer avatar should resonate very deeply with you, right? Either you've had a personal experience with it, which is my case, right? I was taken to the breaking point trying to grow my practice because I didn't have the support that I needed. But potentially it's an experience that you've had with the condition that you're working with, or that you've observed, like you've had a really, really good insight into a particular ideal customer avatar's problem. And having your UVP resonate very deeply with you yourself will really help you communicate that. So action number one, get that problem down and identify the result, right? So my problem for my ideal customer avatar is time. It's always time. We just don't have enough time. And the result is, if I give you back that time, imagine how much you could grow your practice, right? If you never had to create those resources from scratch again. All right, action number two, this is the second biggest action I've asked you to do, is actually create your UVP by using the framework. So I help blank solve a problem, right? So who is your specific audience? What is their biggest problem, which you've already done, and so that they can achieve the desired result. So you've already identified the problem and the results, and hopefully your niche. And now all you have to do is put it together. Just write it down, rewrite it. You can absolutely use ChatGPT to support you with this. So you can plug in you can tell ChatGPT that they're an expert at creating unique value propositions. This formula is not mine. This is kind of evidence-based marketing practice. So ChatGPT will be very familiar with it. But you can say, ask me questions about the people that I serve so that I can craft a unique value proposition that resonates deeply with them and considers my expertise in blank. And so you can leverage ChatGPT even at the free level to help you with that. Okay. So if you didn't get it already from the UVP that I've delivered several times on this call, my company, Living Plate RX, supports nutrition professionals reclaim all of their time back from creating client resources from scratch so that they can focus on generating revenue and growing their practices. The transformation that my ideal client wants is to have a sustainable business, to actually make money supporting people with nutrition strategies. You can't do that if you're bogged down with content creation. So I give you back all that time so that you can be free to have this transformation, and know that we support you with getting that transformation as well in events like this. We also, if we can drop Hillary the call, if you're not a member, the call for the discovery call link. If you are not a member of Living Plate RX yet, you can hop on a discovery call with me, and we can just, not a sales call, really, truly, just a discovery call to see if there is synergy between what we offer and what your goals are. And if so, we can talk about how we can support you. So Hillary's going to drop the discovery call. If you are a Living Plate RX member, you do not want to use that link because that's only for new members. You can go ahead and use the chat widget inside of your dashboard to ask any questions that you want of us, and also leverage the Facebook group for that. Hillary, thank you so much. So I want to just wrap this call by saying that, and just kind of bring everything together, that we're here to support you with growing your practice. And in order to do, we're not the only answer, right? There are several things that you need, kind of foundational things that you need to grow your practice. And the reason why I'm going to be covering this every single time we do a Q&A is because this is where I see practitioners going wrong a lot of the time, which is that they don't have these foundational things in place, yet they still want to grow. And I want you to envision it like a stool, a three-legged stool. I think that my colleague, Stephanie Hoffenke from String Marketing, gave me this analogy, but I think it's just so perfect. It is a three-legged stool that you sit on to have the foundation in order to grow your practice. So there are three things that you need. If you don't have one of these things, you're never really going to have that solid foundation in order to grow. So number one is you need an EHR. You need a way to deliver. It's your vehicle. You need to be able to deliver your services, your counseling, if it's virtual, a place to keep your notes, to deliver. If your EHR allows you to deliver courses, we use Healthy, and we integrate with Healthy, so you can put courses out through Healthy. It is your vehicle, right? That is how you get the content to your clients. You also need a marketing system. This is the second leg of your stool. You need to have an email service at the very least. You need to have a place where you can potentially schedule social media content, do DM automations, create landing pages. I use String Connect, which is my colleague Stephanie Hoffenke's business, because it does all of that. So I'm getting one leg of my stool like all in one, which is awesome. But at the end of the day, you have to have a marketing system, because if you're looking to grow your practice, right, you've identified your niche, you have a UBP, you've got the energy, you're looking forward to serving these people. If you're not getting people into your sales funnel, you're not going to be able to grow your practice. So you need that marketing leg. And then thirdly, Living Plate RX kind of fulfills this one. You need to have a resource for the content and the client-facing resources so that you can attract, serve, and retain ideal clients. If you don't have that third leg, that Living Plate RX white labeled content library, you will be creating all of that content yourself. There's absolutely no way that you can be competitive in this market without dynamic, robust collection of content. So think digital courses, everything from ebooks, handouts, email series, blog posts, like all this content to attract, serve, and retain your clients. That's the third stool. So all those content and resources. So the three stools: EHR, which is your vehicle, your marketing system, which really fuels your vehicle, and then Living Plate RX, which is the white labeled content solution that really fills your practice with everything that you need. So if you're curious, if you're not a Living Plate RX member yet, and you're curious about getting on a discovery call with me so that we can kind of talk you through it, Hillary just dropped the link in for you. If you are on YouTube, the link is already in the description, so you can click there. Karen has a question. Can I do a discovery call? I need foundational help beyond foundational help and beyond. I used to do this for clients, but I'm not able to get myself off the high center. I got it, Karen. So that's really business coaching. We don't provide business coaching. We provide you with all of the tools that you need. But Karen, we do partner with people who can support you. So let's have, if you could drop a note in the chat bubble inside of Living Plate RX, and let us know kind of what is the support you're looking for, and we can match you with somebody who makes a lot of sense. The discovery calls really are just a review of Living Plate RX. It's a tour of the library, a tour of the meal planner, of all the tools like the BioScreen tools. And all of that is inside of your library. So if you're looking to learn more about everything that Living Plate has within your membership, you can use all of those tutorials to do that. All right, great. Hillary, thank you for jumping in there. Okay. So on the demo call, I will support you with how Living Plate RX works. Like, some people don't even know what white labeling means. It means that you can edit and brand the content and sell it and, to your clients. You use it to grow your practice, and what's included in that, how the access to this library kind of makes your life easier, reduces the stress, and gives you back the time, and really how it fits into the larger framework for running a successful practice. All right. All right, so if you guys are ready to take the next step and you're not a member yet, please hop on a discovery call. We've got one, I think, before the end of the year, and then we have several more in January. Karen, one of the things that I will say for you is that for our members only, so this is something new, Karen. So, and for those of you who are still on with us might not know this, starting in January, once per month, we are going to be doing coaching calls. So you are going to be, it's not one-on-one coaching, although if you're the only one who shows up, it could be one-on-one coaching, Karen. But we expect we're probably going to have, groups somewhere around 15 coming into these calls. And you're going to fill out, when you sign up for a coaching call, you're going to fill out a questionnaire about what your concerns are, what do you want to cover, and then we're going to cover them for everybody. Because Karen, a lot of what you need support with, I promise, a lot of other people also need support with, because we're all, trying to support people with nutrition strategies and food as medicine strategies. So join that as soon as that's posted, Karen. I would say join that. We're not limiting seats right now, so it's going to be open to all members. That is a coaching call, not the discovery call. So the discovery call link has just been dropped. Sign up if you're not a member yet. I'll give you a personal tour. If you're already a member, make sure you sign up for those coaching calls. And that'll be a really great place to start, Karen. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This has been awesome. Stay tuned. I think we're going to be potentially skipping a week because it's the holidays coming up. So have a wonderful, wonderful holiday break with your families. We have posted the schedule for our upcoming Q&A sessions, as well as our semi-private coaching calls. Hillary, are they at the top? Oh, Karen is already signing up. Are they at the top of the Facebook group, Karen? Hillary, where can people find the schedule for January's Q&As and our coaching calls? I think that we've pinned it. If we haven't, we'll get it in it, but I think it's already pinned. Oh, our next demo call is 12/17. Oh, we're getting one in. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Hillary. So we are squeezing in another demo call before the end of the year. So if you're looking to scale your practice and you think you might need support from us and our community, sign up for that demo call on the 17th. The coaching call will be in January. The strategy sessions are being posted shortly. Okay, thank you, Hillary. So Karen, don't worry. For all of you who are looking for coaching, we're here for you. And that's going to start in January. Super excited about that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you inside of the Facebook group, Scale Your Nutrition Practice. If you're watching us on YouTube and LinkedIn, please search Scale Your Nutrition Practice on Facebook, apply to join the group, and you can become a part of this very active conversation and supportive community. Take care, everyone. Good to see you. And again, happy holidays.